New information on the 4 bodies found near the U.S.-Canada border. Authorities now say the man who has been arrested was waiting in a SUV on the Minnesota side of the border with supplies like water and rental car receipts, things that indicate that this was a planned and organized operation. How sophisticated it was, we're not really sure. It's still unclear how they got to the border on the Canadian side in the first place. And you probably think of illegal immigration as a southern border issue, but that's not always the case. Last night, we learned about those 4 people who were found dead, frozen, trying to cross the Canadian border into the U.S. Valley News Live's Aaron Walling spoke with Homeland Security today about their work on the northern border.
This week, news broke out about the death of 4 Indian nationals on the Canadian side of the border, which resulted in the arrest of Florida's 47-year-old Stephen Shand for human smuggling.
Certainly those involving human smuggling and human trafficking are top priorities for this agency.
Tanya Price, a special agent with Homeland Security Investigations, explains the difference between human trafficking and human smuggling.
Human smuggling does require the crossing of an international border, whereas human trafficking is really separated out from a labor trafficking incident or a sex trafficking incident. Either labor or sex trafficking would require force, threats of force, fraud, or coercion.
While the southern border receives a lot of attention for illegal crossings, Price says that the northern border has its share of problems as well.
And you're absolutely correct that there is a higher prevalence rate of it happening across the southern border from Mexico into the United States. But unfortunately, we are seeing some of the border crossings occurring in the northern border as well. It's really about opportunity, and it's at the direction of the smugglers.
And at over 5,500 miles, the northern border is a lot of ground for Price and her colleagues to cover.
So we work as a concerted team across the entire northern border to understand what might the new smuggling routes look like. We utilize different law enforcement techniques to be able to identify those routes.
In Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
Now, Homeland Security Investigation did put out a statement today from Special Agent Jamie Holt in St. Paul saying, quote, "These losses could have been prevented were it not for individuals concerned more for their own greed than the safety of others."